What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another Arsenal rehab, people. Forget Arsenal therapy. That has not done the job. We got to step this up a gear right now. It's going to take months to get over this, what we're going through right now, people. This is the real life Truman Show settings, people, when it comes to football, because I'm waiting for the cameras to come out and tell me that this is a joke. Welcome to Arsenal rehab. Arsenal season is well and truly over. It is done. It is dusted. Keep your Thursday nights free, people. We're back. Europa League settings. I used to laugh at this competition. Now it's the best we're going to get, people. We're back home, let's be honest. We are no longer a Champions League football club. We were having discussions. Should we sign Gabriel Jesus? Should we sign Dybala, Serge Gnabry, Raheem Sterling? Listen, people, Timo Pukki, Patrick Bamford, and Britt Assambalonga. That's the type of players we're going to be signing next season. Forget about Dybala and them, man. They ain't answering the phone to us no more. Oh, man. We're going to have a lot to talk about today. Press conference reaction from that manager. Granit Xhaka's talking smoke despite being one of the worst players we've had at the football club in the last 6 years. And the manager for me needs to go. But listen, guess what? He ain't going to go nowhere. They give him a 3-year deal with a pay rise. They're happy. They're delighted. All he has to do is get Europe and they're happy. And he's done that. So we will continue going through the pain. Big up Cage, you said, feel free to take Bamford. That's about the best we're going to get. Yeah, you're right. Let's go into Granit Xhaka mode. For the rest of the summer, I will be referring to it as Granit Xhaka mode. No more defending that guy. He needs to go with Arteta as well, by the way. And by the way, for anybody that likes merch, you may have seen over the past, few hours, I've got the brand new Hulk Hogan version of Arsenal. It's open plan, this one. Open plan, so you can just open it, close it back, button it up, you know what I mean? When you've gone straight from the football game and you want to go straight to the nightclub, just button it up. So yeah, your open plan version of the Arsenal shirt. The brand new Hulk Hogan version. Not even available in stores yet, people. You know them ones. Like the open plan kitchen in the house. Got no doors, you just walk straight in. You can just walk straight in, go straight from the football, button it up. Go straight to the nightclub, give me 10% for that, Arsenal. We can do something with that. It's a business version button up. It works. Pure NFT. But it is what it is. The things that Arsenal Football Club do to you, people. The things, and I tell you one thing, they ain't ruining my summer. Them little idiots ain't ruining my summer. Let me tell you that, Carl. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it with the energy, man. I told you, the only thing this football club has is an amazing Amazon documentary that's about to come out. And a nice training kits. That is it. We have nothing else. We do not have a good manager. We do not have a good team. We do not have a good sporting director. And we do not have a good owner. We are a shambolic football club right now, people, from top to bottom. We haven't demanded enough of this football club collectively. We're a split fan base. Half of them fanboy the manager. Half of them don't think he's good enough. And we've clashed with each other for the last few years. And this is what you get. When you have division in the camp, things don't work. You need togetherness to achieve anything. And that's where we're at, people. That's where we're at, And it's, yeah, divided we're weak. You're spot on. And I tell you something, I'll be a Forest fan for tonight because I've got no interest in Arsenal for the next couple of months. I tell you that. I feel like I just need to switch off from Arsenal for a little while. I'm being serious, because they don't deserve it. Soft FC. Listen, I've said it for so long. People have told me, no, we're not quite that soft team we used to be. We're stronger. We're the softest team in the Premier League, man. We're weak. We're so weak, it's unbelievable. We made Newcastle look like world beaters last night, and all they did was rough us up. They roughed us up. They won the battle, and then they outplayed us after that. Soft. From when Odegaard is your captain, it's problems. It's absolute problems. And I'm not even saying that your captain has to be the guy that runs around smashing people, because, Fabregas didn't do that, but he was so good on the ball that he made things happen. Odegaard ain't that player, and you saw it yesterday. He couldn't handle it. He could not handle it. This manager, for me, is a reflection of the team, and the team are a reflection of him. Inexperienced, lack of know-how, lack of winners. Arteta changed the culture. Yeah, he has changed the culture. He has. He's put us down the toilet and flushed us away. We've got Stockholm Syndrome, people. We've got Stockholm Syndrome at Arsenal Football Club. You know, we've been kidnapped by the Kroenkes and Arteta, and we've been around them for that long that people are starting to believe in them. We've got Stockholm Syndrome. They're starting to love the person that kidnapped them. We've been taken over by a bunch of unambitious, unexperienced or inexperienced people with no idea how to win. We have losers running this football club. And you know what? People today are telling me, oh yeah, but it's progress. You didn't expect top 4 at the start of the season. He's got the youngest team in the Premier League. It's going to be a big summer for Arsenal. I heard that last year. I heard that the year we won the FA Cup. I'm still waiting for the big summer. Because let me tell you something. No elite footballer is going to want to come and play for Mikel Arteta. Let me tell you that, people. I guarantee you, I'll put money on it. We will not sign a big name player this summer unless it's a 30-plus-year-old who's looking for a retirement plan. Like Willian, like, you know, someone like that. Cavani, it'll be that kind of deal. We ain't signing no big player. Gabriel Jesus probably blocked our phone, and we weren't even sure whether we wanted him. It's only going to get worse, people. All these bang average players will have 4 or 5 good games. The fans are begging them or bigging them up. Eventually, they will show their levels when they are needed. I'm tired of the youngest team. Bruv, we got to stop getting caught up on hype. How many days have I been saying, people, El Neni, not good enough. Don't give him a new deal. Yeah, but he's a good squad player and he's had a good 4 games. Yeah, he's crap. Get rid of him. Not good enough. Not good enough. Wouldn't even get in the Newcastle team. They wouldn't even be interested. Xhaka. Garbage. Should have never got a new contract. Been holding this football club back for years. Years. Talks the most, does the least. Get rid of him. El Neni always scored 4 goals, runs around saying, call me. No, get rid of him. Bang average player. Wouldn't get in the Newcastle team. Callum Wilson looked like Romario last night against us. He's crap. Get rid of him. Release him. Don't care if he came through Hale End. Not here for Hale End, mate. I'm here for Arsenal. If he's not good enough, bin him. Rob Holding, not good enough. Been at the club for years. Should have got rid of him. Cedric, crap. Why did we give him a 4-year deal when Southampton were releasing him? That's like going to their dustbin and taking their leftovers. We're meant to be big boys. We call ourselves the Arsenal. We're an establishment of English football, a giant of European football. We're moving like paupers. We might as well sit outside of Wembley with a begging bowl and say, can you spare change? We're embarrassing ourselves. And a lot of our fan base lap it up. They believe everything they tell them. John Cross will come out with the war chest newspaper report. The Kroenkes are going to spend 200 million. That's not going to happen. It's a shambles, people. It is a shambles. Let's get into some of your comments. Reece said, if Arteta goes and the ownership doesn't, we're back to square one. We have to take the anger directed to Arteta and blame the Kroenkes for no ambition. I agree with you to a certain extent. Where I don't fully agree, if you look at Liverpool, Liverpool's investment is very similar to Arsenal's. Yet they're currently trying to win a quadruple because they realised that Brendan Rodgers had probably reached his ceiling and that he couldn't take Arsenal any further. And they said it's time to get the elite manager. I believe an elite manager would do more with our current circumstances. Overall, the Kroenkes are a massive problem, and I totally agree. But it takes a long time to get owners out of a football club that are making money. It's much easier and quicker to get rid of a manager and start from there, you know? So, whilst I do agree the Kroenkes need to go, Arteta needs to be the first one out the door. Probably with Edu. George said, Arsene Wenger created the division by staying too long. The mentality of the players has been an issue since Wenger, where when things go against them, they fold. Good point, George, but most of Arsene Wenger's players have left, and the ones that haven't left, he chose to keep. He chose to keep Rob Holding, Granit Xhaka, Mohamed El Neni. They could have all been sold, you know. This is not Arsene Wenger's Arsenal team anymore. So I get what you're saying. I agree with Arsene Wenger should have left years ago. But this is now Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. Jitesh said, message to all Gunners, don't let these frauds ruin your week. Newcastle result ruined my birthday. We need to put more pressure on the Cronkays. Listen, hope you enjoy your birthday, man. Hope you enjoy your birthday. And listen, celebrate the whole week. Don't worry about these lot, man. They don't deserve it, people. Shaquille said, Big C, thank you for the streams, the laughters, and reducing the stress. I appreciate it, bro. But I'm done with Arsenal. I want nothing to do with them. I'll join your non-related Arsenal streams. I mean, we'll be doing the Champions League final. We might do the Europa League final. And things like that. I'll be watching the Forest game tonight, man. I need a break from Arsenal, seriously. Salma said, it burns me up that some Arsenal fans are actually happy. There's plenty of them, people. I told you, these people are trying to, you know, get jobs in the media and get work at Arsenal, and they feel they can't be them true selves. It's quite sad. It's quite sad. I'll say what I think. If it gets me where I need to get to, then brilliant. If it doesn't, then at least I was myself. The best thing you can do in life is be yourself. And if it takes you where you need to get to, then great. There's nothing better than being successful, being yourself. Let me tell you that. Trying to be somebody else to get in there and get a favour from them and get a little job on, you know, come on, leave all that. Be yourself. If it gets you there, then you made it being yourself. Simple as that. But listen, we move. We've been through worse. Let me just say that. We've been through worse. You know, last season we weren't in Europe. We had nothing. And I know, I'm not even capping it. I'm just trying my best to look at it. What can we do about it? Apart from maybe protest. But we can't protest because 50% of our fan base think the manager's doing well. I've seen the tweets. Oh, we moved from 8th to 5th. It's progress. We're the youngest team. They'll learn from this experience. No, they won't. Some of these guys will want to leave. Some of these guys won't want to be at the football club because when you go to the World Cup, in the winter, and you're playing with Vinicius and you're playing with all these ballers in Brazil and you're in the England squad, you're going to think, boy, maybe this Arsenal deal ain't as good as I thought it was. You know, we're not winning. We're not at the top. We're never going to get a better opportunity than we've just had to get in the Champions League. Let me tell you that. I can already say right now, I will be absolutely, unbelievably surprised if we got top 4 next year. Because Klopp, Pep, they're gone. We can't get near them. Chelsea will have new owners. Things will settle. Manchester United are going to have Ten Hag. They've got a proper manager. Let's see if he works. If he does, they've got a way better team than us. And Tottenham, I mean, I'm here to speak truth today, people. I'm here to speak truth, and people won't like everything that I'm going to say today. But I'm sorry, it has to be said. Other channels, they'll butter us all up and pat us on the back and tell us everything's going to be all right. I'm not here for that. I'm here to talk real truth and speak about where this football club is. Tottenham are overtaking Arsenal. And that's painful for me to say. Let me be real. I'm not talking about history. We've got the history. The history's in the bag. Go in the museum if you want to see Arsenal's history. I'm talking about right now, right here as we speak. They have a better manager. They have a better team. They have a better stadium. They have better players. They have world-class superstars. We do not have one world-class player at Arsenal Football Club. Yet you want the fan base to spend £1,000 a season on a season ticket to watch that utter garbage that you've put out there. The last 2 games. No pressure FC, I call this team. They'll go and beat Everton 4-0 on the weekend. Why? Because there's nothing to play for. They're world beaters when there's no pressure. We are a business. We are PR merchants. We are sellers of tickets and shirts and clothing and merchandise. That's all we are, people. We've been overtaken by the club that we used to point at and laugh. Why have they got Antonio Conte as manager, one of the best managers in the world? Harry Kane, one of the best strikers. Who've we got? Eddie Nketiah and Mikel Arteta. And we're supposed to be a giant of world football. It is absolutely embarrassing. The standards are on the floor. And until our fan base come together and think, right, whether you're Arteta in, out, whatever, you want the best for the football club, let's come together and push for the same thing that is the best for the club. Until that happens, we're done out here. Yeah, someone messaged me going, yeah, but we can win the Europa League. Why can we? Why can we win the Europa League? We've been in it 4 times. We was in it with Wenger, couldn't win it. and he's a better manager. We was in it with Emery. He's the master of it, and we couldn't win it. And Arteta's been in it, and he couldn't win it. So why does anybody think we're going to win the Europa League next season? Man United will be in it, so they'll be favourites. Somebody big will drop out of the Champions League. So for me, I don't know about that. I don't know if we will. Apologies, I missed a few super chats. I know I'm going on and on here. Babatunde said the Kroenke strives on fans' division because while the fans are at each other's neck, they're in the background getting away with it. So you're spot on with that. They want division because we don't put no pressure on them. John said, give Eddie and El Neni new deals. Well, that's where we're at. They'll sign new deals because they're nice and we can get away with it. But can we? Yeah, we can because the fans, they'd rather go on Twitter and argue with each other. And that's where we're at, unfortunately. Kevin Campbell, nowhere to be seen. Listen, it ain't Kev's fault. He's got his beliefs, and he's got no influence on what happens on the football pitch. He's not the manager. He's an ex-player and a fan. He gives up his time and, nothing more to it than that. I respect Kev. That's the footballing game. He has no influence on how bad the team are and how they're bottling it. Nathan said 250 million spent and we're worse. The players that we got rid of are benching are better than the losers that start. It's on the manager. I mean, listen, I'm going to say his name right now. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Champions League at Barcelona. Who remember everyone said, I think this worked out best for everyone. I think that deal worked out best for everyone. Aubameyang needed to go. He was divisive in the dressing room. That was the narrative. Always divide in the dressing room because he's turned up late a few times. All right, cool. Turned up late a few times, yeah? Went to Barcelona. They were struggling for top 4. They finished second. He's got 13 goals in 16 league games. How'd that one work out? Oh, yeah, and you didn't replace him. You decided to bank on Eddie and Nketiah. That's like putting your whole mortgage on zero at the casino. You know, if it comes in, yeah, you're going to be a rich man, but it's more than likely you're going to lose everything. But, hey, what do I know? What do I know, people? How did that January transfer window gamble turn out for this manager? He got it completely wrong. Panda said, I wanted to order a full deck kit to celebrate my Masters. Admit, but now account deleted. Hey, listen, celebrate a different way, man. Don't put it in their pocket. Mamadou said, imagine Arsenal v Real Madrid. Just throw in the white tag, turn the game off, throw in the white flag and turn it off. Don't even bother. Cal said, it's only going to get harder next season. Ten Hag at Man U. Newcastle are going to add more and others. Let me tell you something. Newcastle are going to overtake Arsenal if they get this project right. They're going to overtake us. You pump money into that team that they had last night, they're better than Arsenal. You start them from the season. Eddie Howe's a good coach. They'll probably get a bigger coach further down the line. Arsenal will overtake us because they have ambitious owners. And they ain't come to play games. These men are mega rich. We're only going to get taken over. The warning signs have been there for the years. No one's pressed the alarm bell yet. It's embarrassing. Anthony said, in my late 30s, been supporting Arsenal since the early 90s, can honestly say that Arteta is the worst manager in my lifetime. 8th, and 5th. Embarrassing. At least Rioch gave us Bergkamp. Spot on, and I agree. For me, some people are older than me. You may have seen different times of Arsenal. Mikel Arteta is the worst manager I have ever seen at Arsenal Football Club. Worse than Emery, worse than Wenger, worse than George Graham, worse than Bruce Rioch. He is the worst because he's had backing. No excuses for this guy. People were 100 away from 45k. If you haven't already, lick that subscribe button, support the channel. Thank you very much for the unbelievable numbers on the watch along last night. Nearly 100,000 views. Unbelievable. In fact, we're 81 subscribers away from 45k. If we could hit that today, it would be absolutely brilliant. Really appreciate all your support. Sam said, thank you for getting us through the season, Curtis. It's been painful. And I have to thank you as a community as well because it's not easy. Sometimes I'm doing these watch-alongs and I've got no enthusiasm for the game. I wanted to turn that game off. I wanted to turn the North London derby off, to be honest. So I have to say thank you back to everyone in the community for all your support, and your interaction and your comments and your likes, your views, your super chats, everything. So that's me returning. You lot have been legendary. And listen, we're doing our job as fans. Unfortunately, the club, man, is doing something different, man. Worse than Lundberg. Yeah, at least Freddie was vibes, you know, them ones. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about... I mean, where do I even start here, people? I don't know where to start. Where do we start? Do you know what? Let's start with Granit Xhaka. I'm going to type his name in on Google. I want to know his full name. It's not enough for me to just know him as Granit Xhaka. I want the full name. Or is that his full name? No, it's his full name. It's his full name. No middle name. Granit Xhaka. 29 years of age. Born in Basel, Switzerland. 29 years of age. Granit. Granit's been talking. That boy Granit's been talking. That's all he seems to do. But let's talk about Granit Xhaka. Remember him? Threw the armband on the floor. Told us to F off. Did an interview saying he's still disgusted when he looks at the players, the fans as he walks by. He said, if someone isn't ready for this game, stay at home. It doesn't matter your age. If you're nervous, stay on the bench or stay at home. You need to have the balls to come here and to play. I mean, have you ever heard anything like this in your lifetime, people? I said it a long time ago. They are like misbehaving kids in a classroom. Do you think he could make that comment playing for Manchester City? Do you think he could make that comment playing for Liverpool, for Klopp or Pep? They'd have him by the throat. They'd have their hand round his neck. How dare this guy talking like this? But like, you should look in the mirror, bruv. He needs to look in the mirror. What the hell's he talking about? Now listen, let me tell you something. He's talking some truth, you know. Let me start by saying this. He is talking truth. But he is part of the problem. So how can you call out other players when you're part of that problem? Granit Xhaka this season, people. 11 yellow cards, 2 red cards. 11 yellows and 2 reds. 13 cards. I didn't get 13 cards for Christmas. But this guy is telling people, stay at home or stay on the bench. I tell you something, mate. Why don't you get that aeroplane from Heathrow and get yourself to Rome? Because you spent all summer twerking for Jose, talking about I'm learning Italian, talking about how lovely Rome is as a city, talking about how good a manager Jose Mourinho is. I tell you what, mate, we've never touched Champions League since you've been the pivotal part of our midfield. Get rid of him. He's finished. He's never been good enough. We should have signed N'Golo Kante. We bottled it. Wenger didn't want to pay the dough, and we've paid the price. We've had this guy in midfield for 5 years bottling it. People say he's had his best season. Yeah, it's when you perform at like 3-4 out of 10, it's not difficult to improve. What's he been, a 6 out of 10? I'd say a 5. He's had 2 red cards. He's had 2 red cards, 11 yellows. He's crap. He's not good enough for the Prem. When we tried to sell him, Jose was the only guy interested, and he offered us peanuts for him. Get rid of this guy. We are a shambles. Change the culture. Do you know how many times I've had that message this season on Twitter when I've gone for Arteta? You don't know what you're talking about. Arteta's changed the culture. What's this culture? You tell me what this culture is. Granit Xhaka speaking like this. You're one of the worst midfielders I've ever seen play for Arsenal as a consistent starting midfielder that plays every week. He's one of the worst. But he gets away with this because guess what? The manager loves him. Manager probably agrees with what he's saying. He's a disgrace. He's an absolute disgrace. As Didier Drogba once said after a big Champions League game, he's a disgrace, people. Absolute disgrace. Get rid of him. Levan said, big up Cruz for saying he will stick by Arsenal yesterday. Once a Gooner, always a Gooner. I'm sorry for Cruz that he missed the glory days. Bruv, when Cruz comes back from school, I have to put YouTube on and type in the Invincibles, Patrick Vieira, Henry, Bergkamp. I have to try and convince him that we were actually a good team. Because he don't know what's going off. He's looking at me like, Dad, why do you support this team? I'm like, Cruz, we were actually a very, very, very good team with a top manager. But he don't understand it. He's looking at us like we're West Brom or Southampton. He can't believe it, but he's sticking by us. You're going to have some pain. E. Ross said, where's your ball, Xhaka? Well, Troy Deeney wasn't lying, man. Troy Deeney said it. These man got no cojones. He weren't lying. Snake Eye said, Xhaka out, Arteta out, Edu out. I would add Kroenke out to that as well. So Xhaka's talking smoke. And Gary Neville hit back. Man like G. Nevs. Said he's obviously having a right dig at people within his dressing room. I hope he wasn't having a go at them young players. He said, I tell you what, he's been a disgrace at times. And you know what? I'm not always the biggest fan of Gary Neville because, you know, when we had our battles with Man United over the years, he was a bit of a cheat. But he knows what he's talking about when it comes to football. And this guy, Granit Xhaka, is in no place to be talking like that. We got the, I don't know what to say, people. He said, even if the owners are ready to spend, who'll want to come here? We had the opportunity this season. We won't even be able to sniff top four. We ain't getting top four next year, let me tell you that. I've already accepted it. We're just going to have a little Europa League run. That's it. Yeah, people applaud it. He's speaking facts. He's speaking facts, man. Club's moving mad. Greg said Cruzy's going to come home and ask why you're teaching him history lessons. Just finished class. That's all we got, man. That's all we got. We are History FC people. Salman said, I agree with this comment. Unbelievable, them comments from Xhaka. And the fact he's able to say that with chest and think that he's right. He's actually got the personality of Cristiano Ronaldo. He's the Swiss League animal. But he thinks he's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's unbelievable. You know, it's unbelievable. Right, let's talk about the game last night. I'm sorry that we have to, because who wants to talk about that game last night? We're going to do player ratings, but I'm just going to fly through it, because what's the point? I haven't watched the game back, as you can understand. I'm not going anywhere near that game. Change the culture, a wishy-washy phrase that people use because they have nothing of substance to offer. It's like them people who knock on your door and use loads of buzzwords to try and make you buy new windows. You know that your windows are all right, but he'll say, oh, we've got brand new triple glazing. It keeps more heat in your house. If you pay weekly, you won't even notice the difference. Before you know it, you got to remortgage your house. Man's charged you 25 grand for new windows. That's all we're doing with Arteta. They're just trying to sell him to us. They've tried to sell Arteta to us. The reason they love Mikel Arteta is because he's taken 40% off the wage bill. He's working with young players that they will sell for a profit. It's a beautiful business model for the Kroenkes. He takes all the heat. He's on half the wages Arsene Wenger was on, right? He'll go in every press conference and defend them. He don't want big players, so he's not going to knock on the door and say, go and get me Serge Gnabry and give him 200 grand a week. Go and get Sterling. No, we're going to sign Aaron Hickey from Bologna. We're going to sign Marquinhos, not the PSG Marquinhos, one of the best centre-backs in Europe. We're going to buy Marquinhos that we've never heard of, that don't even look good on YouTube, for €3 million. If you was the owner of the football club, you would absolutely love Mikel Arteta. The problem is we got owners that don't care, don't want to win, don't want to pay the price. Said it 2 weeks ago, I don't believe the Kroenkes want Champions League. I genuinely believe Stan and Josh are sitting in their ranch in America saying, yes, we don't have to pay those 500,000 bonuses. We don't have to go and buy top players, because we're going to tell people that, oh, we tried to sign Vlahovic, but he wanted Champions League. We might make an offer for Raheem Sterling just to have breaking news on Sky Sports. You know, we might make an offer for Gnabry. Maybe we'll offer Pogba a contract, but we ain't going to get none of them. We're not getting none of them. But we'll try. We'll dress it up. Fabrizio will be saying, here we go. And, you know, Ornstein will say we're linked with this player and that player just to keep us interested, you know, because season ticket renewals are coming up and we've got 3 new kits coming out and we know how nice them kits look. I don't know how nice that black kit's going to look with Europa League badges on it. You know, it's not quite the same, is it? But they play the game. It's a business model. They know what they're doing, man. Outgun said Xhaka is effing with that comment, by the way. Salty losing the armband to him. Also, what did I say about BW4? He would fail big style. Even Any brought more honour to the legendary 4. Big up yourself, Outgun, man. Long time I ain't seen you in the chat, so appreciate it. We're going to talk about Ben White. I'm going to wait. I'm gonna wait about Ben White. I'm not gonna single out players until we're doing player ratings because I've got some things to say about that, brother. Don't you worry about that. I've got plenty to say. They'll probably still pay the bonuses. I don't think so, mate. I do not think so. 500 grand to over 10 players. No chance. Facts, yeah. Oh, and then he showed more pride. Seti said, I just quit my job that wouldn't give me off days on Thursday. I hope that's not true. But, yeah, keep your Thursdays free next season, people. We're going to be very, very busy. I'm not buying any kit, says Dwayne. Bro, get Turkish on. Listen, man, if he's about... is he in the comments, people? I don't know. Is he in the comments? Turkish can have a long night on the Big Six show, by the way. Damn, they're all going to go for him. Big C, this club is finished. And Ali said, we went from Patrick Vieira to Martin Odegaard as captain. Let that sink in. Soft. You couldn't... They're as soft as melted ice cream, man. That you don't need to do anything to get through these lot. They are weak. They are absolute. This team, to me, is unrecognisable. Every single Arsenal fan, in fact, not even just Arsenal fans, every one of you in the chat right now, you support your football club because something connected you to that club, whether it was a player, whether it was the whole team, the manager, your dad, your mum supported them. Something connected you to that club. And you felt it. This is my team. I love them. That's my kit. That's my players. These are our fan base. I genuinely feel I have no connection with this football club anymore. None. I'm here purely on just because I've been here for so long. And that's it. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel anything. I don't like many of the players. They're trying to find their way in the game. But I don't like many of these players. I don't like many of these players. How many of these players would I put on the back of my shirt? None of them. I wouldn't walk around with any of these players on the back of my shirt. The manager? No, can't stand him. The owner? He's a shambles. Don't come to our games. They've won the Super Bowl. What have we won in recent times? Nothing. Won an FA Cup. We're just we're the Truman Show. We are the Truman Show. It's like a social experiment to see how much punishment we can take as fans. Thierry Henry got us all attached. Arsenal's like a drug. Thierry Henry, yeah, come and have... Man's knocking the microphone over and everything. Come and have some of this Thierry Henry. Microphone's gone off. Give me a sec. Should be back. There we go. Camp and Arsene Wenger football. You'll be hooked on this. And then they slowly leave, and all of a sudden you end up with Mikel Arteta and Eddie Nketiah. Apologies, I mashed up your ears. It cut off the mic and went onto the laptop mic. So I might have just blown up your ears, people. Apologies. Right, we've been on for half an hour. Let me talk about that shambolic game that we watched last night. I still don't know what that game was. But we're going to... listen, I can't figure it out. There's nothing. I've got nothing to say about this game other than... I didn't realise Manchester City were from Newcastle because I was watching that game last night and Newcastle looked like Manchester City. They look like prime Barcelona. They look like prime Brazil. I don't understand what I was watching. Joel Linton. Joel Linton, Oh, dear. Let me take a sip. Joel Linton. Oh, and that Bruno Gomes, by the way, that we decided not to sign in January. Looks pretty good player, him, don't he? He's in the Brazil squad, by the way. Probably going to go to the World Cup, but we didn't buy him. We decided Xhaka... We gave El Neni a new contract 6 months after giving Granit Xhaka a new contract. But that Bruno Gomes... Yeah. Joel Linton looked like Dunga, mate. Prime as well. Abdullah said they tried knocking out Wilson's tooth, but we were the only ones that was toothless. Man's tooth was out. He still bullied our two centre-backs, especially Benjamin. Jose said Conte needed 1 season to make top 4 and they tell us to trust the process. Bro, the brother came in, when, November? He hasn't even had a season. That's our home, mate. I've accepted it now. Europa League is our home. All right, let's go back to Joel Linton FC. Bullied, battered, and embarrassed and outplayed. Absolutely bopped. I kept thinking to myself during the game, surely there's going to be a spell that we turn this around. We have 20 minutes and we make them work. It just didn't turn up. It never arrived. I couldn't believe that Newcastle kept that intensity for 90 minutes. They were, let me be totally honest. Let me say something here, people. Newcastle were absolutely fantastic last night. Let me give them their dues, people. They were absolutely brilliant. It was 2-0. It could have been 5-0. They were a credit to their fan base last night. Amazing what you can do when your fan base is together, you know, and you're all pulling in the same direction rather than, you know, twerking for the manager. How about wanting the best for the football club, no matter who the manager is? They absolutely annihilate us. They didn't even have a great back four. I thought we'd test their back four. We did nothing. We got battered. Ben White own goal. Bruno Gomes scored. And they were trolling us, saying he turned you down in January. With Bruno Gomes, we obviously didn't put the bag down and get the deal done. We're cheap, as usual. We had the January from hell. I knew January was going to come back and bite us. And it's bit us. We let our best striker go. We paid him £7 million to leave. He's gone to Barcelona and scored 13 goals. They're second in the league. Big mistake. The only way you could get out of that was by replacing him with a top quality striker. You didn't bring one in. You lied to us and said, oh, we tried to sign Vlahovic. You had no chance of getting him. He said from day one he wanted Champions League, went to Juventus. No plan B? No plan B. Nothing. You left us short. We knew we had a midfield crisis. Partey's going AFCON with El Neni. Xhaka's out injured. Do you want to sign anyone? No, we won't sign anyone. We'll loan out Ainsley Maitland-Niles and leave ourselves even shorter. Oh, cheers for that, mate. Cheers. I appreciate that. We got better players on loan than the ones starting. Saliba's just made Team of the Year and France is in the French squad. They're world champions. But we got two centre-backs that aren't fit. Torreira is better than what we've been seeing in midfield lately. You know, it's absolutely insane. Aubameyang better than all our strikers put together. But hey, here's what it is. Everyone needs to boycott the last game. It'll probably be a sellout. They'll probably celebrate. They'll probably do a lap of honour, saying well done for being back in the Europa League. I'm not going. Leave your seat empty, man. Let them know. But they won't, because we're not about that life, I'm afraid. We're not about that life. Man United fans ran on the pitch, got a game abandoned last season. Stopped the coach from leaving the hotel. You think we're about that life? We're just not, people, I'm afraid. Our fan base, a lot of it is not. They're not about that life. Drogbino, big up, bro, long time. He said, this is the main reason I did not celebrate the Tottenham win in September. Like I said, every win under this manager, it's another 5 months of dealing with him. Win the battle, but lost the war. The war has been well and truly lost. Because let me tell you something. You give Antonio Conte money to spend. We got major problems. Major problems. Fav said, hey, Kurt, it's nice technique for shirt ripping time for the Europa League. Ho, 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 ho. We're back, people. We're back. You can see the background. Europa League business. We're back where we truly belong now. We are a Europa League football club. Make no mistake. We are not a Champions League club anymore. We've been out for, this will be 6 seasons. Not a Champions League club no more. We are Europa League dons. Mid-table dons, people. That's where we're at. Get the narcissist out of my club. People, make sure you smash a like button and subscribe. We are close to 45k. Can we hit it today? We only need 61 subscribers to hit 45k. Can we hit it while we're on stream today? And like I said, thank you for all the support. We had nearly 100,000 views last night on the watch along, so I appreciate it. Let's get into this. Let's get into this absolute trash. These player ratings are going to be quick. I mean, you know, they're not going to be nice. They're going to be low. And I don't think you should expect anything else. They're a disgrace, this team, what I saw last night. You know the drill. Read their name out. Tell me what you think. We'll have a brief conversation about each position. And we're basically going to slaughter them. I'm sorry. And they deserve it. They're bottle jobs. Couldn't handle the pressure. Listen, the young players, you were put into a position that maybe you weren't ready to deal with because you're still learning your trade and you couldn't deal with that on your shoulders. Some of the experienced players are an absolute disgrace. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's talk about Aaron Ramsdale. I mean, listen, I'm going to say I'm gonna tell you the negative and positive of Aaron Ramsdale. The positive of Aaron Ramsdale, he made a few saves that if we didn't make them, or if he didn't make them, we would have probably lost 5-0. He nearly got lobbed from the halfway line by a man like Callum Wilson. And he did make some good saves. He did keep us in the game. A said we're losing top 4 to them. Dybala will probably join them. Bruno gave us a kick up our backside. All this is not good for your health. Seriously, it's not. It's not. Anthony said Newcastle not winning by at least 4 goals was a miracle in itself. It flattered us. You missed my previous super chat. Apologies, Anthony, man. Apologies. Comments are flying in. Let me slow it down a little bit more. Granit Xhaka mode even slower. But let me tell you something. I give Ramsdale his praise. Made some great saves. But is he as good as we all thought? I said when we signed this guy, I was not convinced by him. I'd seen him play a number of times for Sheffield United as a friend of mine played for them, David McGoldrick, Nottingham boy. And I don't think Aaron Ramsdale is better than Emi Martinez. And I know you'll think, why are you comparing him to Emi? But we sold Emi to keep Leno. We then binned Leno to bring in Ramsdale. I would argue that Martinez is better than Ramsdale. So within a year, we've spent 30 million, but have we got a worse keeper than the goalkeeper we had 12 months before? He's overhyped. He's hot-headed. But he did keep us in the game. I don't want to completely write him off. I think he's been probably our player of the season, to be honest. But in the last 6 weeks, he's definitely started to falter a little bit. I'm going to give him 5 out of 10, and that's me being kind. I'm just letting you know, nobody in this Arsenal team is getting above a 5. I'm just saying that straight up and down. You ain't going to hear no 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Someone sent me a clip that Robbie gave Tomiyasu a 7. I let him off. Maybe he was caught in the emotion of what just happened. But let me tell you, that brother ain't getting no 7 from me. He ain't getting no 7 from me. Did I read that? Gareth said if you could remove one player from Arsenal, who would it be? Mate, there's that many. I don't know. I'll probably start with Granit because Granit is a problem. Get him out of the club. Didsy McGoldrick, what a player. Big up Dennis. Yeah, man, he's just left Sheffield United. Ramsdale gets a 5. Ramsdale gets a 5. For me, his distribution was poor. Many times he kicked the ball out for a throw-in. You see that time when he got the ball, took too long, kicked it straight against Callum Wilson. Luckily, it fell to Tomiyasu. That could have been a goal. He made mistakes. The goals, maybe couldn't do anything about. He gets a 5. Gets a 5. I'm sorry. I'm not hyping him up. Made a few good saves. I'm not in a good mood with this team. Some of you saying 7s, 6s. Not for me. Not for me. He gets a 5. Cliff said Mikel Arteta finally did the right thing by saying we weren't good enough, then singles out Tavares for a foul throw. Hashtag quiet for holding. You buy cheap, you buy twice. Trust me, man. 5 all day for Ramsdale. I'm not here to play games with this team today. Takehiro Tomiyasu. I mean, I'm a Nottingham boy, and we had a famous sporting couple called Torval and Dean when I was growing up. They were ice skaters. I think they won the Olympics. They were famous in Nottingham. I thought Tomiyasu was dancing on ice yesterday. I thought he was playing in ice skates. I mean, big up Robbie, man. That's you know what I mean? That's my boy. But I don't know how you gave this guy a 7. I thought he was crip walking in Newcastle. He got the runaround. He got ripped apart. I actually said it in the game. This brother's going to pull his hamstring. 10 minutes later, he was on the floor. Leg gone, mash up, hamstring. Hamstring's been ripped. He got ruined. He got absolutely ruined. He couldn't handle him. Got done so much, he pulled his hamstring. What do I give him? 3? He got absolutely annihilated for me and came off injured. Battered him. Ruined him. Man was crip walking on the pitch. Big up Butterpants said hello from the Twitch community. Big up everyone watching on Twitch. Nearly 100 on Twitch and 3,000 on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Can we hit 45k? We're only 45 subscribers away from 45k. Man was doing the sea walk, fam. I'm telling you. Big C, man. Tommy was plug walking. I don't know. He gets a 3 out of 10 for me, people. 3 out of 10. He got ruined. He got absolutely ruined. That man was like a backup dancer in an old school R&B video. I thought I was watching, Usher Raymond. I thought he was one of his backup dancers. 3 out of 10, you got ruined, mate. Let's go to Tomiyasu. From Tomiyasu, to Nuno Tavares. I'm going to be honest here, right? I actually think he was one of our best players. I think he was one of our best players. If you look throughout the game, now I get it. We can all go mad because the foul throw is an absolute embarrassment, right? You're a grown man, a pro footballer in the Premier League. You don't know how to throw the ball. My son's 9 years old. These lot know how to throw the ball. This brother's doing foul throws. But I'm going to be honest, he had a decent game. I think he was a bit hard done by being taken off. I don't think Almiron really did anything against him. I would give him a 5, but for the foul throw, got to give him a 4 for the foul throw, man. It led to a goal. I'd say his performance warranted it. He could have got a 5 for the performance, but the foul throw... Listen, I always say, if you make a mistake high up the pitch, you have to look at the different phases of play. Yeah, he does the foul throw, which is an absolute shambles, but there's enough time for the team to deal with what happens afterwards. He's the start of it, but it should have been stopped further up the pitch. I'd say his performance was a 5, but I'm giving him a 4 for the foul throw because it's embarrassing in the Premier League you're doing foul throws. Lungelo said, don't let Arsenal destroy your week. Big C, I forgot about my Chelsea this season. Now I'm focusing on the Boston Celtics. Listen, I'll be watching Forest tonight, cheering for my hometown team to get in the Prem. I'm seriously putting Arsenal to the back of my mind for a while. I genuinely need a break. They're not good. They're stressful. Let's go to the 2 centre-backs. I'm going to start with the one I'm going to give a little bit of credit to, and that is Gabriel. He wasn't fully fit. He came off, and I thought he was the better of the 2 centre-backs. We're going to speak about that other guy in a minute, and I'm telling you, if you're a fan of him, you're going to want to turn off. But I thought Gabriel was quite good. I'll give him a 5. He was the only player I saw yesterday calling out people. Come on. This guy doesn't even speak fluent English yet. And he's shouting at people, what are you doing? Wake up. Where's Odegaard, the captain? Where's Granit Xhaka, the so-called quiet captain that apparently leads the dressing room even without the armband? Where was they? Where was they yesterday? Do you know what? I'm going to have to give him a 4. I'm going to have to give him a 4 because I think Callum Wilson destroyed our centre-backs. I can't even lie. And they created too many chances. I'm going to downgrade him to a 4 because I felt like we made Callum Wilson look dangerous every time. So I am going to downgrade him. I can't lie. But he tried his best. He wasn't fully fit. And... do I give him a 4 or a 5? What do you think, people? 4 or 5? Now, we conceded 2. They created hatfuls. He gets a 4. Let's just keep it moving. But I at least respect the fact he stood up, he countered, and it meant something to him. You've been at the football club, what, 18 months? You're from Brazil? No, I'm going to give him a 5 for the care. At least you cared about the badge. Who cared about that badge yesterday? I see man on the floor crying. Basically crying on the floor. At least you cared. But Wilson was bullying, man. I can't lie. I'm going to give Gabby a 5 for caring. They're the kind of players I want at the football club. Let me talk about the next guy who played next to him. I need to know where the receipt is. I want the receipt. They say, usually in England, they say, you've got 28 days to get a full refund. Maybe we can edit the date on the receipt. Maybe we can just say we only want an exchange. We don't even want our money back. Apparently, he doesn't watch football. Doesn't watch football, Benjamin. Don't watch it. He looked like it yesterday. Looks like somebody that doesn't watch football. Because I want to know why we paid £50 million for this guy. That's what could someone tell me in the chat why we paid £50 million for Ben White? I need to know because I just see I just see an Essex Towie merchant with tattoos who can't defend. Own goal, out of position. People said he's unlucky. He's out of position. He's the wrong side of his man. That's why he conceded that goal. He's in the wrong position. He is absolutely bang average. I'm telling you now, I don't even know if he's better than David Luiz. I don't know if he's better than David Luiz, people. Ben White. Bang average. Centre-back that can't defend. Yeah, he's decent on the ball. But he's a good defender? No. No, he's not. I just don't get it. Brighton won the lottery with that price. Can you imagine Brighton when they seen us transfer that money? They must have been opening their bank account like, oh my God, the money's actually in the account. They paid it. They paid £50 million for Ben White. He wasn't even their best defender. Lewis Dunk's their best defender. We're just something else, man. E. Ross, Mr. English Tax. I told you, see, that English tax is BS. Bruv, that is English tax. That was a bill we can't afford to pay. Let me tell you. Benjamin White, he said, call me Benjamin, and I don't watch football. But he's got tattoos. He's got a good suntan, a bit of blonde in his hair, you know, bit of a swagger merchant. So they'll lap that up. Oh, he's young, he's English, it's a good image. Love Island Ben White, man, are calling him. Love Island Mustafi. Big up Perth, Aussie Gooner. He said, Arsenal is not a business. Arsenal is a business, not a football club. Arteta's giving contracts. Arteta was given a contract because he reduced wage costs from 140 to 82 million. And they love it. They love it. He saved money. Benjamin White is absolutely bang average. Absolutely bang average. I'm sorry, people. When you spend £50 million on a centre-back, the first thing I want to know is, can you defend? Then we'll start talking about, can you pass the ball? Can you play between the lines? Can you dribble out from the back? They're the things we talk about after. My first thing is, I paid 50 million. Are you a good defender? Ben White's not that good a defender. He's just not, people. He ain't better than Koscielny and them, man, when we had them, man. So why we paid 50 million for this, brother? What was the basis? Who was scouting these, man, last season? Because I got to be honest, I heard this narrative that we had this amazing summer transfer window. Did we really, though? Because Ramsdale's done well. Let me give him some credit. I think he's fell off the last month or so, but he's done well. Ben White, for me, is average. Sambi Lokonga's not ready. He hasn't really looked great. Nuno's not good. He's nowhere near ready. Odegaard, sunny afternoon, 3 p.m. against Southampton. He looks like prime Mesut Ozil. You take him away from home up north, mate, you don't want to know. He's like a fairy, that brother's so soft. So where's this amazing summer transfer window that I thought we was meant to have had? Big on my boy DG in the chat. Get some rare nephew. Bruv, I need a summer off. Real talk. I need a break from this. What kind of madness is this? Big up yourself, man. Make sure you follow DG, man. We have to get some shows done, man, with this season finishing. There's going to be a lot to talk about. Big up yourself, brother. I tell you what, I seen him defend on it, some of his clips, you know what I mean? Brother can tackle, but this brother here, Benjamin White, what am I giving him? Right, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt purely on the fact that he's not fully fit. Ben White gets a 2 from me. And that's me being kind, people. I'm sorry. I'm not here to play games. Own goal, out of position, yellow card, shocker. Absolute shocker, mate. He might as well have stayed in London and got a suntan, gone on a sunbed. Shocking. Is he better than David Luiz? Genuine question. That's what I want to know. Because David Luiz was very good on the ball. We questioned his defending at times. I don't see a better defender than David Luiz. Yet we paid 50 million sterling English pounds for this guy. It's crazy, people. 3,000 of you in the chat. Amazing support. Big up, people. And like I said, we're only 38 from 45,000 subscribers. Can we get there? I'm pushing you, people. Let's go into the midfield. Granit Xhaka. Oh, let's start with you, Granit. Round of applause for Granit Xhaka. I'm giving him his round of applause because he talks a lot. You know, he's a great performer when it comes to chatting. He's in more interviews than goals. You know, he says he could still take the captain's armband back and all of that. You, my friend, should never play for this club again. He should never play for this club. We're a laughing stock. He shouldn't play for us. He gets a 0 for the comment. Simple as that. And there you go. There you go. Gets a 0 for the interview after the game. Didn't do anything. Joel Linton, you got zipped up in Joel Linton's pocket, mate. You got zipped up. Joel Linton's not even a midfielder. He absolutely battered you. You did nothing. Didn't play the ball forward. Took too long. Got his 10th yellow card of the season. He's had 11 yellow cards this season in all competition and 2 red cards. 13 cards. And this is meant to have been one of his better seasons. He's crap. He should never play for this club again. Ever. Sell him. Get rid of him. I don't care if Mourinho offers 9 million, 8 million. Give me a Tesco meal deal. Get rid of him. Let's set up a GoFundMe. We'll pay for it. Get him out. He's crap. We should have never bought him. He should have left years ago. Get him out. 0 for the chatting after the game. I want him gone. He should never play for us again. Anthony said Arteta has spent 250 million, fixed the defence, changed the culture, only to take us from 5th to 8th and back to 5th, all while conceding more goals. You just couldn't write it, could you? You couldn't write it. The guy took over a club that had just finished 5th. He spent $250 million, and in his 3rd season, he gets us back to 5th. And this is, I mean, the levels are just unbelievable, man. They're on the floor, literally. Let's talk about Mohamed El Neni. Remember him? New contract. Comes in, has 4 good games. All of a sudden, woo! Hype! El Neni! He's a great squad player, and he'll never complain. Let's keep him. No, let's not keep him. He's not good enough either, right? He's not good enough. That's why when he went on loan to Turkey, they didn't want him. Yeah, they didn't want him. Get rid of him as well, because he's rubbish. 3 out of 10. I'm not going to go in too hard on El Neni, because El Neni gives everything. But he's bang average. El Neni should be playing for Watford. Their training ground's on the other side of the hedge. If you've ever been to Arsenal's training ground, jump the hedge and go and play for Watford in the Championship, because you're bang average, mate. Shouldn't be at Arsenal. But guess what? We'll give him a new deal. Do you know why? Because he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He ain't going to moan. Trains hard. Arteta doesn't feel threatened by him. When he doesn't feel threatened by you, he'll look after you. He'll give Holding a new deal. He'll give Xhaka a new deal, El Neni. And Keita will be offered a new deal because they're nice. They train. They're no threat. Arteta feels he can control them. So El Neni will sign a new deal. 3 out of 10, he was awful. Let's talk about Martin Odegaard. Oh, Jesus. Martin Odegaard. Again, I'm honestly, I'm trying to not go too crazy on individual players here, right? But I said yesterday, what I say in the game, in the day, I wouldn't play him. He can't. It's going to be too much for him. Did he even play? Like, I'm being serious here. Did he play? He can't cope. You can't play him in any of them games. You're going up north. You're playing any kind of physical team. Take Martin Odegaard out of your side, and take the Arsenal captain's armband. As of right now, means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. You might as well let Gunnosaurus have the armband on his arm. Like, what's the point in this? How is this guy the captain of Arsenal Football Club? So, like Ramsdale said, he loves Jamaican food. Take Odegaard to the restaurant. Get him some jerk chicken and some rice and some dumpling and. Come on, man. Odegaard, listen. Let me just, because I'm so annoyed with the team right now. Some of it may be a bit over the top, but I'm trying to stay balanced. Odegaard's been decent this season. I don't want to completely disrespect all the work that he's done this season. But when you're coming up against that physical battle, he ain't ready for that life. He ain't about that life. I'm going to give him a 2 out of 10. I give him the same as as Ben White. I think he was as bad as Ben White. He was absolutely non-existent. It was a shambolic performance. There was a time he got shoulder barged by Joe Linton and he just stayed on the floor. It was like, oh, mummy, help me, I'm hurt. He's not good enough. He's not. I don't think he's a Premier League player. To me, he can only play in the Premier League if he plays for Man City, who are absolutely bossing the ball. You're not asking for him to be physically demanding, and he can just bop, and there's movement all over the place. If he's playing for a team like Arsenal, you're going to get this with this guy. He's a fair weather player. Emirates, sunny day, he'll look like a dream. He'll nutmeg people, he'll play passes. Joel Linton literally zipped him up and sent him away like a misbehaving child. Rye25 said, big up Big C, big up the stream as usual and always, but Arsenal completely broke me last night. Arteta should have been sacked after the Villarreal defeat. The culture, mentality, standards and players need changing. I totally agree. Odegaard gets a 2, people, non-existent, and we've seen this performance many times, seen it at Anfield, seen it many times. Rough him up, he don't want to know. Get close to Odegaard, lean on him, and he ain't coming back. It's mummy help settings. Mummy help me, he pushed me. Martin Woefulagard, people. Martin Wafflegard, we call him that. But he's the captain of Arsenal Football Club. We've gone from Vieira and then, man, to Casper the Ghost. 8th choice at Madrid, didn't have a squad number. Ancelotti didn't want nothing to do with him. Now he is the captain. Times have changed at Arsenal. Cliff said, whereas I absolutely agree that Xhaka needs to go, I had no problem with what he said. Held himself and the team accountable for a crap performance. My only problem was, Cliff, was he actually holding himself? That was my only question. I do agree with what he said, you know. I just think you can't say that when you're misperforming yourself. If you're playing well, you can say that. But when you're a bad player yourself, how can you call players out? You're one of them. So I hear you. Let's get back to the right. Bukayo Saka, non-existent. Listen, again, let me give him his props. Been excellent this season. He's a young player. He's carried us at times. He's scored goals. I would say the last 2 or 3 games, he's been non-existent. Non-existent. And he ain't getting away with it either because he was terrible yesterday. He was up against Matt Targett. Matt Targett spent most of the game running forward, putting crosses in. The only thing I say, Saka did a lot of running. He tried to get back and help with St. Maximum absolutely terrorising Tomiyasu behind him. Saka gets a 3 for me just for the work rate. I thought he was poor on the ball. Absolutely poor on the ball. But the thing is, we've kept Pepe out of the team for so long. When he comes in, he's playing rubbish as well. So you can't even replace Saka because there's no option. 3 out of 10. He's probably burnt out. I don't think there's anything left in the tank. I think he's done. He's probably played nearly every game this season. So I have to blame the manager for a lot of what I'm seeing from Saka. Young players have to be rested at times. Saka are free, but I put a lot of that blame down to the manager. You got to think Saka played, I think we said he played 50 games for Arsenal last season. Remember, it was in the Europa League last year. He's then gone to the Euros, played for England, gone through all that, heartbreak of missing the penalty, and then we've just played him all season and just burnt him out. We're lucky he hasn't had an injury. Let's go to Emile Smith-Rowe. He seemed to join in with Martin Odegaard as well, and Saka, to be fair, in that they just didn't turn up. I don't know why he played ahead of Martinelli, to be honest. I got no idea. I thought Martinelli played well last week. He should have scored, though. But ESR was absolutely non-existent. He did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. ESR gets a 2 for me. You've come back in the team and we're all like, okay, you've come in for Martinelli because maybe you're more of a goal threat than Martinelli. You have scored goals this season. I mean, Rowan's saying he's not fit. I don't know. Is he not fit? He hasn't been playing that much. So I wouldn't have expected him to have been tired or anything like that. I don't get that. Non-existent 2 out of 10 for him. And I think maybe he's been mismanaged. He seems in and out with form. And again, one thing I'll say with ESR, the image is great. The plain black boots, the socks rolled down, the shin pads high, the calves out, Jack Grealish FC, number 10 on the back of your shirt. But That number 10's too heavy for him. He got that number 10 prematurely, people. And these things that used to mean a lot in football, Arsenal have diluted them and made them meaningless. The number 10 means nothing. The captain's armband means nothing. You know? Saka is wearing the number that Alexis Sanchez was wearing. A world-class player. Pires, world superstars. Martin Odegaard's wearing the number 8 that Ian Wright wore. The player that made me first want to support Arsenal. Smith Rowe's wearing number 10. Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis. Mesut Ozil. Even though Ozil was balling more when he had the 11 on. It means nothing. Croydon Catamol, as I was calling him. Not no Croydon De Bruyne, bruv, let me tell you. But like I said, I don't want to destroy the young players, but listen, you want to come with that image, yeah? If I turn up on a football pitch and I pull my socks above my knees and I'm wearing vapors and I'm acting like I'm Thierry Henry, I better actually do something. I can't play like Choupo-Moting and dress like Thierry Henry. Yeah, I have to perform. So Smith Rowe, that image thing, I think you better perform if you're doing that. Let's go Eddie Nketiah. I mean, yeah, Paul Merson as well, assassin. What a player in the 10. Eddie Nketiah, I mean, headless chicken. He couldn't do anything. He had no service, but again, the form levels itself out real quick. El Neni came into the team. Oh, what? El Neni's playing? What? Jeez, give him a new contract. Boom. Default settings return. But by then, you've already given him the new deal and you're stuck with him for 2 more years. Eddie Nketiah comes in. What, Eddie? Yo, man scored against Chelsea, bruv. Yo, call me celebration. And he's from Hale End. Should we give him a new deal? Default mode. Doesn't look like he's going to score. Getting handled by centre-backs. No goal threat. Not that strong. Loses every header. He nearly killed someone last night. You know what I mean? Man elbowed the man on the side of the temple. Nearly finished him off. I give Eddie a 3 for the enthusiasm. What else can I give him? He ran around. He'll probably get a new contract and get the 14 shirt. Rai said it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, see, but is ESR good enough for Arsenal? Like, I keep hearing he's not fit enough, but is he just not good enough? I think he's good enough to play for Arsenal. I don't know if he's good enough to be a regular starting player. Because I don't think he's a great winger and I don't think he's a great number 10. It's like, I don't know what Emile Smith-Rowe's best position is. I think there's no doubt he is good enough to play for Arsenal. He's played for England. He's got 10 goals this season. But you've got to find his best position and keep him in that role and work on his game, you know. Maybe he's a squad player, not a starting lineup player. Oh, if Eddie gets the 14 shirt, we're done. We're done, people. We'll turn it into a PSG channel. Let's talk about the substitutes who came on. I'm actually forgetting who came on. Forgive me, people. I know Cedric and Pepe came on. Who else actually came on? We made 4 subs. Cedric, Martinelli, Lacazette, and Pepe. Just group them all together. I'm not even going to waste my time talking about them individually. Lacazette left the pitch with a headband and blood coming off his head. Pepe looked like he was dancing on ice as well. I don't think Pepe's taken a fullback on for about 6 months. His career's over at Arsenal. Martinelli came on. They clattered him straight away. Did we clatter anyone? Yeah, Joel Linton bullied us. Did anyone go and leave one on him? Let him know it was a real fight? No one. So I've got nothing to say about the substitutes. I'm not even going to give them numbers. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. Nathan said, it's so sad seeing the state of this club. It hurts so much that the club we love are finished. I mean, you look at Newcastle last night. Callum Wilson's been out for about 3 months, I believe. He comes back yesterday and destroys our defence by simply doing the basics. Callum Wilson wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. He did the basics. Backed into his defender, held him off, pinned him, set, spin, go up for headers, give him a nudge. Physically, come from the lower leagues. He played for Coventry. I believe he played non-league as well. And he looked quality yesterday because we can't handle that physical battle. Joel Linton's not even a natural midfielder. Most Newcastle fans used to take the mick out of him. I remember when I had Darren Farley on here, he used to take the mick out of him and say he wants a kebab with Steve Bruce and he doesn't score. And he's gone centre mid. He's won player of the season and he looked like a beast because we're weak. We're soft. We've got a soft underbelly. You know when you play against Arsenal, if you rough them, they don't want it. They'll moan after the game like Xhaka and talk. If Xhaka's this tough guy that he's talking, why didn't he go and leave one on Bruno? Or leave one on Joe Linton, let them know we're Arsenal. We're not that same soft team that you thought we was. If you're going to get booked, Granit, take a yellow card for that. I'll accept that if Granit says, you know what, no one's awake. I'm going to take a yellow card for the team and I'm going to rattle Joe Linton and make him roll around with his ankle hurting. Make sure I get a yellow, not a red, and I'll let him know you're in a football match. You ain't winning this game without a fight. But we ain't got that, people. We ain't got that. These men do more talking off the pitch than on the pitch. Don't let these men date your daughter. I've said it before. Don't let these men date your daughter because they're weak. They're absolutely weak. They will run off in a fight. Smash the likes, people. Can we hit 1.5k likes and can we hit 45k subscribers today? Brilliant support. 3,000 of you in the chat. And also, nearly 100 of you watching on Twitch as well, people. Big up Shaidu said, we need God to help us with Arteta as God refused. You'd annihilate Xhaka for that. Come on, I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't. If he did it for the right reason. He does it in cowardly ways. He'll pull your shirt for no reason. He'll moan at the ref. You know, there was no passion shown. Odegaard, 6 goals, 4 assists. Maddison, 10 goals, 7 assists. Say no more. Maddison's better than him. Maddison's better than him, man. No cap. Odegaard's a fair weather footballer, man. He's probably built for La Liga. Sorry, we got more to deal with. We've been here for an hour and 12. We got more. Let me turn the focus to the manager. Before we get into the press conference reaction from Mikel Amatrain Arteta, the train that I will not be boarding, by the way. I've well and truly left the station, hopped the fence, and I'm in an Uber, currently going back home. That train has left. Mikel Arteta, Coleman music, people. He should not be the Arsenal manager anymore. But he will, because we have an unambitious board. So I can talk here from now till next week and say that Arteta should be sacked. He's going nowhere. He's going absolutely nowhere. And the problem is 50% of the fans actually think he's a good manager and think that he's making progress. Even though he took over a club that was Europa League, spent 250 just to get us back to Europa League. We sacked Unai Emery for less, you know. Samuel said it was Hulkamania settings up in this stream yesterday. Hulkamania run wild on your brethren. It was needed, man. I grew up on WWF. It is what it is. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. That was my era, man. We love you, big Hulkamania from Korea. Hey, big up your damn self, man. It was necessary, man. That shirt had to come off. I felt dirty wearing it. Dio said, big up, C. How come we got to make 4 subs? See, I thought that was Tomiyasu. I thought he came off with his hamstring. Maybe it was a concussion injury. I don't know why we made the 4th sub. Maybe they felt sorry for us because we're so bad. Go on, make another one. You've finished anyway. Just have one. Nothing to lose. But Mikel Arteta. Let's speak a few facts, people, about Mikel Amatrain Arteta. Arsenal, currently, when we look at the Premier League table, we have conceded 47 goals, right, this season. Now, when you bear in mind, in fact, let me share the screen. We have to see it together, people. We have to see it together so we can discuss it. We have conceded more goals than last season. Arsenal here, 5th. This is where we're going to finish. 47 goals this season conceded. Now, just to give you some context. Last season, we conceded, down in 8th place, 39 goals. We've conceded 8 goals more than last season. Yet we bought Tomiyasu, Aaron Ramsdale, Nuno Tavares and Ben White to strengthen our back 4. Yet we've conceded 8 goals more with 1 game to play. So we conceded more goals with these men than with David Luiz, Hector Bellerin, Said Kolasinac, Rob Holding. How does that work out, people? How does that work out? But apparently he's improved. He's fixed the defence. He's fixed the defence. Apparently he's fixed the defence. It don't look like it to me. 50 million on Ben White, 20 million on Tomiyasu, 30 million on Aaron Ramsdale, and 8 million on Nuno Tavares. And we've conceded more goals than last season. We've only scored 1 goal more than last season with 1 game to play. 55 last season, 56 this season. Unbelievable. West Ham have scored more goals than Arsenal. West Ham. They got 1 striker, Mikel Antonio. This guy used to play right wing back for Nottingham Forest. They've scored more goals than us because this guy binned our best striker in January and told us that we had enough to deal with him not being there. It don't look like it to me, bro. It don't look like it to me. Leicester. Sidon, if you're in the chat, Leicester people. Europa Conference League this season. They're 9th. They're not going to be in Europe next season. They've scored more goals than us. I mean, people, how much things does this guy have to do? He's like a cat with 9 lives. I don't understand. Snake Eye said, thank you and the community for supporting and encouraging me to keep supporting. I'm tired this summer. I have to seriously make a decision if I will keep supporting Arsenal. Fans, we need to unite. Big up Snake Eyes, man. You've been a big support, man. And listen, I'm sure we'll be back here. Do you know, people, that Mikel Arteta broke the record last season? 13 defeats is the most defeats we've ever had in a 38-game Premier League season. When the Prem first started, I believe it was 42 games. In a 38-game Premier League season, the most defeats ever is 13 defeats. That was Mikel Arteta last season. He's gone and matched it again, people. 13 more this season. 13 defeats. 26 defeats in 2 seasons in the league. £250 million spent. The worst Tottenham that we've seen for years. The worst Manchester United team I've ever seen in my whole life. And this brother still can't get 4th. Still can't get us across the finish line and get us into 4th. It's an absolute shambles. How has he survived? How did he survive after finishing 8th last season? How did he survive after Villarreal in the semi-final? How did he survive the first 3 games of the season taking 3 L's? Then he bins Aubameyang, doesn't replace him and bottles top 4. For me, if Oba was still here, I think we'd have got 4th. Do you realise since Aubameyang left the club, Lacazette scored 1 goal since he left the football club? So you're telling me Aubameyang wouldn't have got more than 1 goal? And Eddie's got 4. So we've had 5 goals from our strikers since he's left. He's gone and scored 13. And he plays for Barcelona. And they're in the Champions League. Who won in that case? Everyone told me that, oh, it's best for both of us if we get rid of him. Get rid of Oba. And we look better without him. That's what people were telling me. Don't look like it to me. Leicester have scored more goals than us. They're 9th in the Premier League. We've conceded 2 goals less than Burnley, who are trying their best to stay up. It's a shambles. Absolute shambles from top to bottom. But we move. We move, people. Let's talk about the press conference. I'm sure we're going to hear absolute fraudulence in this one. And listen, I'll be honest with you. Let me start off by saying something. Before I actually kind of rip him a little bit. I actually, in some sort of way, felt a little bit of compassion for him because he does care. He does care, but he's not capable. So it doesn't matter how much he cares. You can see he's hurt. He cried when he left Arsenal as a player. He obviously cares a lot about the football club. It's not actually his fault because he shouldn't be in this position. I always used to say, if you pick a bad player and he plays badly, then that's the manager's fault, not the bad player's fault. The bad player can't perform better than what he's capable of. Mikel Arteta's not capable of anything better than this. He's not going to quit. Someone said yesterday, oh, Arteta should quit. His contract's worth £24 million. For them to sack him, they've got to pay him. They're going to have to come to an agreement. So he's not going to walk out. He needs to be put out of his misery. This ain't good for your health, bro. You've tried your best. You're not good enough. We need to move forward. But they won't do that because fifth is good enough for them, I'm afraid. So does he care? 100%. And I do want to show him just that tiny bit of compassion that he does care. But as a manager, he's not good enough. And he has cut off his nose to spite his face. He was not prepared to put his arm around Guendouzi, to put his arm around Saliba, to sit down with Aubameyang, discuss the problems and keep it moving and do the best for the football club. People have to understand, Mancini and Tavares didn't even speak to each other at Manchester City. He went on strike for 3 months and went back to Argentina. They couldn't stand each other. He came back, they sat down with the chairman, said, shake hands, just work with each other until the end of the season and then we will sell you. And Tevez came back and was banging goals in the Premier League. You don't have to like your manager to perform in your job. Arteta should have sat down with Aubameyang and said, listen, we can't get Vlahovic. We're going to keep you to the summer. Let's call a truce. You don't have to like me and I don't have to like you. But you play for Arsenal and I manage Arsenal. And let's get the best out of this season. But he wasn't because he's power hungry. He's trying to be Pep. Pep was doing this to man like Yaya Toure and Joe Hart. But you ain't Pep. You ain't Pep. Pep can get away with that because his CV... You know, you can turn the page how many trophies that guy's won. You can't do it. Let's talk about his press conference. Big up Gunnar Roller who said, dare I say, Ivan Gazidis has taken Milan to challengers and Champions League. We have terrible ownership. I mean, people used to hammer Gazidis at Arsenal, and I understand. He's gone to Italy all of a sudden. AC Milan are top of the league, you know. So clearly he knew something about football, but why couldn't it work at Arsenal? It's the Arsenal effect. 3,100 in the chat. Unbelievable numbers, people. Really appreciate it. We're only 28 subscribers away from 48k. I'm pushing you, people. If you haven't subscribed, lick that button and lick the like button. Craig said apparently Saliba wasn't ready for Arsenal, but Tavares and Lokonga are. Make it make sense. Yeah, French Young Player of the Year in the French squad, the world champions, but not good enough. But yeah, we've got Rob Holding and Nuno Tavares, people. Let's get into press conference reaction from the Cone Man, Mikel Arteta. Cone Man music, Mickey Ross himself. I'm not even going to call him the Teflon Don now, you know. More like a jelly baby, mate. There ain't no Teflon on you no more. They peeled through that yesterday. Mikel Arteta said the team got what they deserved on Monday night away to Newcastle. Finally, the man isn't capping. It's only taken him 2.5 years. He said, on the defeat, it's a really tough night. Let me zoom in a little bit. You probably can't even see that, can you? That's a bit too far zoomed out. Let me zoom in a little bit. On the defeat, it's a really tough night. Normally, I can sit here and defend, but what we've done today, it's not easy. Newcastle were 100 times better than us in every department from the beginning to the end. It's hard to accept, but you have to accept it, and that's the reality of what happened on the pitch. Oh, man. Sold Guendouzi for 9 million, said Nick. He's in the French squad. General Don, I'm Jamaican. Leon Bailey isn't good enough. Bro, is there an analogy that from the time Xhaka is there till now have not come to top 4? Most mistakes by any midfielder leading to goals as well. Thanks for professional comments. You're real. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Ref's fault today. Listen, you never heard me blaming the ref. I tell you that much. Let's continue. I don't want to delay you anymore, people. I don't want to waffle on too much with this manager. On what he puts the performance down to, he said, we knew what was at stake. We didn't cope with it. We didn't compete. We never got into the game. We put ourselves in trouble time after time, and we lost every duel. Every aspect of the game, we were second best. Newcastle deserved to win the match, and probably by a bigger margin. Finally, he's speaking the truth. Should have done that against Tottenham instead of telling him he was proud of them. On if we need a miracle to reach the Champions League, don't even do that to yourself, man. Let's not even do that. Yeah, we're all Team Opuki FC on Sunday, but it's not going to happen. He said, we need to win and we need a defeat from them. We know that in football that's always possible. And if anything happens, you have to be there in order to do that. Today, you have to put your head down, swallow all the disappointment we all feel, hopefully, and start again tomorrow. On how the players are feeling in the dressing room, he said, now it's too late. finally a little bit of accountability, man. It's only took you 2.5 years. Do you know what I mean? 2.5 years, and finally you realise sometimes you got to tell these players what they are. And that's not good enough. Speak that truth, but it's too little too late, bro. It's too little too late. Big up Craig, man. 1K likes, over 3K in the chat. Big up, man. Chris Fraser said, man, speaking the truth. Wow. Curtis, when do you believe Arsenal will be in the Champions League? Not until this manager's gone. Maybe not until these owners have gone. You know, since they've been full owners, we can't get there. Beer Grant said, subscribe to the channel. Big up yourself. Biswadeep said, don't worry, Curtis. We will win our game against Everton and Tottenham lose to Norwich. Not happening, is it? We can hope, though. Let's continue. On conceding the first goal again, we need to find other ways to do it, especially when we find ourselves in this kind of situation with the amount of changes we have made. Because of the injuries to Gabby, Emil was feeling something with Tomiyasu. We tried to change it, but again, we were extremely poor in every department that give you a chance to at least compete in the match. And tonight, we were nowhere near it. Accountability. I tell man all the time, accountability. It's took him 2.5 years to talk like this. It's too late. It's too little too late, bro. 3 more years of this manager. Jeez. Do you think he's going to get top 4 next year, people? Do you believe he can, you know, get the better of Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, Conte, Ten Hag? Because I don't. You know? I'm more worried about Newcastle and West Ham coming and overtaking us. And the injuries, listen, I can't give you no excuse, mate. You made the squad smaller in January. So you were always taking that risk. On the comparisons with Villarreal in the Europa League semi-final, he said there are a lot of similarities. We had 6 or 7 players out. See, this is where I don't... This is where my feelings change. This is where I don't want to hear what this guy's saying. So why did you get rid of 6 players and bring no one in? He said, look... Oh, my... Man mentioned Aubameyang's name. Jesus, he must be broken. He's actually said his name. I'm telling you, Luca, it's too late to apologise. It's too late. You've got us in the Europa League. We should have been in the Champions League. That apology don't mean nothing to me, bro. It's too late. You've ruined EastEnders on a Thursday night now. Now I've got to record it because we'll be playing Rapid Vienna. Man said Aubameyang hits a header, the ball goes on the post and it goes out. I can't believe he said his name. He must have forgot. It's funny, though, because he's kind of firing shots at him going, you know, Aubameyang hit the post and got us knocked out. He said, then it's personality or no personality. The situation is it was a very different game against Spurs. What happened today, it was about the performance and how we competed. And we were nowhere near the level we have to be to have a chance to play in the Champions League, people. The champions. I can't see that light anymore. That's for damn sure, people. That light is in the distance. On whether he feels let down by the players, he said, no, I am the maximum responsible person all the time. If somebody has created an expectation this year that no one in this room... this is where I just want to end the stream, Dave, as Expressions famously said. Big up. I had to say it last night. It was just in my head. End the stream, Dave. Big up Expressions every time, man. Quality. But again, he wants to make excuses. He's basically saying here, if somebody has created an expectation this year that no one in this room probably would talk about at the start of the season, it's those players that are there. So he's basically saying, you lot didn't expect top 4 at the start of the season, so what are you moaning for? I'm sorry, I don't buy into this narrative. It's weak. It's weak, people. It's a loser's mentality. How come Conte came in November and got 4th? Signed 2 players in January. Why has it took you 2.5 years? Loser mentality, man. I can't stand it. Aubameyang will be like, keep my name out your effing mouth. Brother, he's in the hills in Barca. Champions League settings. Do you know what I mean? Chilling. Who won in that battle, really? We should have kept him. More Stupid Form said, next season will be harder. Serious money around. You give Conte Champions League, it's a problem. Ten Hag's a top manager as well. Wow said South London's finest. He said, it's those players that are there. I will always defend them. But tonight, that's a really, really difficult thing. I mean, listen, maybe I'm misreading it. Somebody just said there, apologies, that I was misreading it. I felt like he was saying, somebody has created an expectation this year that no one in this room would talk about at the start of the season. It's those players that are there. I'm reading that as they've got us into a situation to battle for Champions League that you didn't expect us to be in at the start of the season. So he's kind of trying to praise them for getting further than we expected, you know. That's how I'm reading it anyway. If you think something else, let me know, people. On how serious Tomiyasu's injury is, he said, we don't know. We'll have to assess him. He felt a muscular issue. That's what happens, mate, when St. Maximum got you dancing around St. James's Park. On how we will pick the players up for the game on Sunday. Yeah, that meaningless game on Sunday. We now have to I mean, listen, pause, and pause again. I mean, like, I can't be reading out this kind of... Oh, man. He said, digest it, and tomorrow is another day. We will still have 5 days to prepare that match. We know what we have to do. There's not a lot of words, I think, that are needed after that performance. I mean, people, it's been a long 24 hours, man. I'm not in the mood. We move, people. Mickey moving brazy, I'm telling you. Makil said that's what she said. Pause, man. Pause. On whether he regrets not buying players in January. We have done what we can, and with what we are allowed to do, what we could do, and the resources we had from the start of the season. The team that we are able to build is what we are able to build, and it's the team that has taken us all the way here. All the way here, people. It's taken us all the way here to the Europa League. Hey, Mikel, cheers, fella. Cheers. Appreciate it. You've taken us all the way here to Europa League. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks a lot. You took over when we was here. You spent $250 million, and we're back there. Cheers, Mikel. Thanks a lot, mate. Europa League Arsenal. We're back to square one. Big up my brother Fran in the chat, man. Yo, I was listening to your stream in the car, and I heard you saying you had good numbers in the chat, so make sure people support Fran. Knows what he's talking about, man. I'm going to get some shows done with him with the season ending next week or this week. So big up Fran in the chat. I'm sure he's just finished the school run. He's thinking, raw, man's still on. It had to be a long Arsenal rehab today. We got the Europa League background. I've put the Champions League out of my mind. It's not happening. We're not ready for it. We're not good enough. The manager's not good enough. The players aren't good enough. And this is what happens, people. I want to finish the show. We're not done yet, by the way. Hold tight. I want to finish the show by trying to look for a solution, because I believe any time you discuss a problem, you should try and figure out a solution. Now, my solution, I'm going to be honest, my solution would be get rid of the manager, get rid of Edu, get a top quality manager and a top quality technical director. Fanbase unite and put pressure onto the owners. But the chances of those three things happening are basically minimal, right? The owners aren't going because the fans can't unite. The manager ain't going because half the fan base think he's doing a good job. So let's be real. Arteta's going to stay. Edu's going to stay. The Kroenkes are going to stay. What can this football club do moving forward? Because I don't see how Arsenal can attract any kind of big player to this football club this season. We've been discussing Jesus, Dybala, and a lot of people have been saying they don't even want those players. I don't think we can even get those players anymore. What Arsenal need to do, and I've said this many, many times, you've got to start cherry-picking the lower ends of the division. Because players in the lower half of the Premier League would still look at Arsenal as a step up. They would still look at Arsenal as an upgrade. They would still look at Europa League as a move in the right direction. So just for example, for me, and obviously Premier League players are expensive. We've also got to balance out the fact that we've got a young team that's struggling, that's inexperienced. Maybe we need to add experience. I'm showing the bottom half of the table there. I haven't got Norwich. I can't fit them on. There ain't any Norwich players I would really want anyway. To be fair, Pukki's probably better than Eddie and Nketiah. But for example, if Leeds get relegated, Rafinha, Calvin Phillips are good players. I would look at those two. If Everton got relegated, he couldn't work with Rafinha. His attitude, I think the fan base wouldn't really want Calvert-Lewin at the moment. Decore maybe as a squad player. Allen's probably a bit old now. I don't know. Maybe there aren't too many options there. But there are players that are better than what we've got at the moment. You look at Southampton, I think Ward-Prowse, I think he's due a move. I think he's actually had a good season. He's been nominated for Player of the Year. I think he would move. You look at Villa, but Villa are building. They've got Gerrard, and I think you would struggle to get a lot of their players. Snake Eyes, Max Aaron's from Norwich. That's a good point. We're definitely going to need a right back. Ben Godfrey's not bad. Definitely better than Rob Holding. You look at Crystal Palace, but it's Vieira. It would be difficult. I think Zaha, I would probably still take him, but I think that ship's probably sailed. Eze's a baller, but he's struggled since injury. Elise, they have got some good players. That Mark Guy, who they signed from Chelsea. Maybe Douglas Luiz from Villa. Ismail Assar, people are saying from Watford. Newcastle, I think you'll struggle because they've got so much money. They're not going to let many players go. For me, I'd be going for Basuma from Brighton. He would happily come to us. That Cucurella looks good. He got player of the season. Like I said, Phillips. Cage is in here. Big up Cagey. Make sure you follow him, man. Very good Leeds channel. Said, Rafinha is Champions League ready, bro. Trust me, Barca is calling. He will show what he's about with ballers around him. My only thing, I don't see how he goes to Barca if they've got Ferran Torres, Dembele, and Adama Traore. If they sign Traore on a permanent, I suppose you could have 4 wingers. With them being in Champions League. And that's the thing, Rafinha probably get a bigger move than Arsenal, to be honest. So I do hear you on that. But yeah, maybe Ivan Toney, I don't know. I'm not fully convinced on Ivan Toney. It depends. I'd take him and another striker. He couldn't solely be our only striker. But I think Arsenal got to get creative. We ain't going to... I think Jesus will probably reject the move. And you look at it there, like you said, Liverpool built their foundations, poaching Southampton's best players and taking players from lower clubs. You know, Sadio Mane, Southampton. Andy Robertson, Hull City. Trent came through the youth team. Van Dijk came from Southampton. Gomez came from Charlton, League One. Matip was a free transfer from Germany. Wijnaldum came from Newcastle. Henderson from Sunderland. You know, Firmino came from Hoffenheim. Salah was at Roma when a lot of people were saying, let's not go for him. So we've got to be creative. We've got to be smart. We can't shop at the top table. We ain't going in Harrods this summer. We're going in TK Maxx on the sale rack, hoping to find a nice T-shirt in our size. That's all we've got right now, people. For me, start off with a clear out. Get rid of Xhaka. Get rid of El Neni. Get rid of Eddie and Nketiah. Whoever else is out of contract, go and shift a few of these out. Sell your loan players, your Bellerins, your Torreiras. Get your money for them. Guendouzi's already been sold. Get William Saliba back to this football club. Because let me tell you something. I haven't seen him in the Premier League, but I'll bet my money that he's better than Ben White after what I've seen of Ben White this season. Get Saliba back to this football club, right? Get Nuno Tavares out on loan. He's not good enough to play for Arsenal. Right? We need a clear out. 6, 7 players need to leave. We need some experience. We need proper experience. Not experienced players that are going to let us down like Xhaka. We need experienced players that can lead us. We actually need to sign a captain. We need to sign a player this summer that comes straight to this club and gets the armband. We don't have a captain. Right? We're stuck with Mikel Arteta, I'm afraid. I would get rid of him. This show's called the Arteta Out Show. I would have got rid of him, but he's going nowhere. We're stuck with him. The club see it as progress. He has to try and win the Europa League. He has to try and win another cup competition. I don't think we're good enough to get in the top 4 next season. I don't see enough teams collapsing like they have this season. That is our only hope. Sign young, hungry players and sign a couple of experienced leaders. Ward-Prowse could be Arsenal captain. You're right. He's Southampton captain. He's in the England squad. He would join Arsenal. He would see it as a step up. Wouldn't be cheap because he's English. But that's what we got to do. We got to spend money. You can't go and buy a bunch of young players that haven't played at this level and put them around more inexperienced players. That ain't going to fix the problem. So we've got to get creative this summer, people. And if Edu is the guy that we're relying on to do that in the transfer market again, that leaves me worried, because this guy has not proved yet that he can go into the transfer market and negotiate with clubs and get the right players in. So I don't trust him. Before we start to round up, people, we're 8 subscribers away from 45,000. Absolutely amazing support. If 8 of you haven't subscribed, lick that button. We're here every day. It's Arsenal Rehab. We're doing this all summer, people. I took a trip in a fantasy. Rihanna settings, people. Rihanna settings. Amy Winehouse settings. They're trying to make me go to rehab. I said, no, no, no. I want to go to Champions League. Arteta said, no, no, no. That's it, people. Europa League settings. Keep your Thursdays free next season. It is what it is. What can we do about it, man? Wayne said, Curtis, would you take Pogba, Rice and Basuma? Bro, I'd take jerk chicken, rice and dumpling. Never mind Pogba, Rice and Basuma. They're better than what we've got in midfield. That's for damn sure. We can't get none of them players. Basuma we can get. I can't lie. We can get Basuma. Chris said, Phillips, Cucurella, Basuma, Ward-Prowse, Tony, we're moving. Yeah, because these men are experienced. They've played in the Prem. They're strong. They're about that life. They can rough man up. I've seen Ivan Toney roughing man up. I've seen Ward-Prowse crunching people. I've seen Basuma. Basuma bullies nearly everyone that he plays against. He's a monster. If he gets that court case dealt with, then we need to get him to the carpet. People, big up your damn selves. We've hit 45,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. I'm applauding. What a community we've got. Absolute legends, every one of you. Appreciate the support. It's now road to that 50k. I did say when we hit 50k, I'm going to do a bigger giveaway than the ones I've done previously. So we're onwards and upwards to there, people. But 45k, legends, every single one of you. The support, I never take it for granted. It is much appreciated. And big up your damn selves. Come, Crew's back from school. Let's go. What are you saying? Recovered from last night?
Yeah.
You have recovered. I ain't recovered yet, man. What are you saying? Europa League? Can we win Europa League next season?
Nah, I don't think we can. Unless we buy good players.
Give me some players that you would sign that you think we might be able to get.
I do like. I don't think we could get Conor Gallagher. Do you think?
Gallagher's decent, but Chelsea would ask for a lot of money.
Don't think.
Would you take Basuma?
Yeah, I'd take Basuma. Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, good midfield.
Them two, and then 2 strikers like Jesus or Ivan Toney.
You take them.
Yeah.
Need strong players, man. We're too soft, aren't we?
I know.
You wouldn't mind playing against Rob Holding and Ben White, would you?
Nah, clumsy.
I'm rough them, man, up, innit?
Mhm.
Yeah, man. But anyway, we move.
Man.
Season done, man. What are you saying? 5th. We let Tottenham get 4th of all teams as well. Nando's going in the Champions League.
Nando's.
The only thing we can hope, they get battered in the Champions League and we win the Europa League.
Yeah.
Do you know the Europa League song?
Oh.
Big up yourself, Cruz. Big up. Oh, mate, see how bad it is. Even he knows the Europa League song. Big up. Ray said, Big C, thanks for always spitting the truth and spicing up with good humour. I love it when you talk up. TK Maxx, my favourite store to pick up awesome bargains. Big up yourself, Ray. Listen, people, thank you very much for tuning in today. It's much appreciated, man. A fam said, allow Cruz to support City. I told him. I gave him the freedom. He's committed. He wants to stay a Gooner. Christian said, much love from here. Big up your damn self. Morris, Brat, big up. Just get a few in. Kamani, it's not good when Cruz knows the Europa League song. It's one of them, innit? It's one of them. That's all he's heard. Like, growing up, that's all he's hearing with Arsenal. He ain't even really seen us in the Champions League. He was a baby them times there. Listen, have a good day. Big up to every one of you. Thank you very much for tuning in. You're absolute legends, every single one of you. Arsenal Rehab. I'm sure we're going to be here again throughout the summer. Let me just read this out. Jamie said, this club hands out new contracts to management without the guarantee of Champions League, but does sign Champions League level players without Champions League. Big summer ahead. And big up to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the kind words to Cruz. We've been on for an hour and 45 minutes. We'll be back tomorrow. It's going to take a long time. I'm going looking for Kevin Campbell. We need to have a conversation. Thanks for helping get the channel past 45k. The channel goes nowhere without your support, interaction, likes, comments, and it's much appreciated, people. I'm actually looking forward to this season finishing because we need a break. I'm going to chill tonight. I'm going to watch Nottingham Forest. Good luck to them. Hopefully they get to the final and we will move the rest of the season. Everton this weekend. Listen, you never know. Maybe we get a miracle and Norwich go and beat Tottenham, but I just don't see it happening, people. So put it out your minds, and if it happens, it happens. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. Do not let Arsenal ruin your day, ruin your evening, or ruin your summer. We've done our part as fans. We talk about it. We care. We put our money in. They haven't done their job. Let's see what they do. Take care. Thanks for the support. Big up for it in 45k, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bless.
Peace.